Personal log. 5:51 in the morning. It's Friday, the 28th of April 2023. Anxiety kicked in this morning. I got my brain rewired again because I got tripped by a picture of a newborn's nose with multiple holes inside of it. Tryptophobia. Apparently, someone had thought it was funny to post this thing out there on social media where I got it picked up. I had to report it a few times already. Every time the picture would come up, I'd report it because it's disturbing and was making me sicker and shit inside. And unfortunately, I had to go through Google again to find maybe if there were other pictures that were going to be triggering me out like crazy. And too many fucking pictures. I had to reread the articles concerning about tryptophobia. It's a condition, a mental condition concerning about repetitive patterns like holes and stuff. You see a lotus pod, seed pod. Sometimes it's full, and then other times when it's empty and dried out, it's like a husk. But you see holes inside of the damn thing. Or maybe there are certain patterns in nature, in the grass or plants on the ground, that would have a repetitive pattern or almost an irregular repetitive pattern that would trigger the absolute disgust feelings, panic, anxiety, and I'm still having it. Even mechanical that we have in our life. There are many examples. Weavings in our shoes, possibly. At least I know in my shoe. Colanders, strainers, repetitive patterns right there. Um, I have tables outside with hard rubber coating on them, and they have holes all over the place for drainage. And I have to feel those holes and keep telling myself, there's no threat, there's no threat, there's no threat. Even with the strainers in the shoe I have here that has the holes the woven into it, I kept telling myself, there is no threat to this. I am not threatened by this. Even the colanders I have and the strainers, I still had to do that for myself. And the thing is, I had to still understand where this is coming from. A long time ago, I actually had chicken pox, and my face was covered with it, and my arms were covered with it. I had to have calamine lotion and Caladril used all the time just to relieve the itchiness. I was told that if I had itched, even when they dried up, they would leave what they call pocks, or holes, or mounds. And that there had been a few holes on me as a teenager. And they healed up, and they created their own little mounds to a point where I hardly ever noticed them, except maybe if I was looking for them directly or indirectly. I had them on the forearm. I had them underneath. These days, when I'm sweating like crazy, I feel itchiness. It's only because I've got the skin being not washed enough, or if it is, well, we men suffer through itchy jock itch. Irritates the sweat glands a great deal, so it creates the itch. But regarding the repetitive pattern, or the irregular repetitive patterns I saw on my skins, I didn't do most of them, just scratched off a few of them just to see what the hell happened. And somewhere under my skin, on my face, I probably have a pock or two hiding because I did pick at it. And somewhere on my arms, maybe they are pock marks. I don't know. I did and paid attention to them throughout the years. But the images are still burned in the subconscious at this point over here. And the disgust of that of being labeled as Attack of Killer Zit Boy. I even labeled myself that one because of the way I looked. And I guess maybe I was disgusted by the way I looked because I looked like the Attack of the Killer Zits. I had been working. I had been in grease situations where enough grease built up on my skin that I would get zits. And sometimes blackheads had to be picked off. Or use a lot of medications to get it, worn off. Or dried up. And I guess maybe that way I was getting sick of it. But somehow, with all these repetitive patterns I was surrounded afterwards, really didn't bother the living crap out of me. I didn't bother to pay attention to it until there was one day when I went online to one of the groups I'm associated with, and they had a computer generated face with a lot of lattices. How do I pronounce that again? I don't know. Computer generated. What looked like it was multiple holes all over the damn place. And my mind and my body was reacting to this violently. I had to call the group administrator to tell him to take the damn shit off. It's causing a health issue. I wasn't the only one complaining about it either. Thank God. But it also made me tripped out enough where I started seeking more information about it. Some of the other images I came across was pretty damn freaked out anyway. And I had to figure out what the hell the damn thing was until I found the term, tryptophobia. Tryptophobia is a mental condition. Some scientists and behavioral therapists think that it's a biological protection built into our genes, built into ourselves at this point. Protection from hidden dangers or something that we perceive as danger or as a threat. So basically, a block of Swiss cheese could be a threat to you, unless you're allergic to milk or however it's being made. But because of the nature of the cheese having irregular holes in it, would be tripping something like crazy with other people. And I used to eat Swiss cheese a great deal. Pasteurized, not to mention other forms of other cheeses too. And I still like the taste of it. But I understand it's got holes in it. But it didn't bother me as much until I got triggered with that one damn picture. Then everything else afterwards turned me into a damn banana case at this point over here. That after I get triggered by one of those damn weird ass pictures, I have to keep searching out the manufactured holes that I have in my household. And I have, it's one damn thing that drives me crazy is the fucking bugs. That's the thing that pisses me off more and more is bugs. It drives me crazy. They'll jump on me, they'll sleep with me, and those damn things are going to give me nightmares if I'm not careful. But tryptophobia, artificial holes, or sometimes natural holes that nature has, a seed pod that's already been expended its containers. The empty containers here, but the seeds have already been placed already. So now it's a dried up hulk. And those damn things normally wouldn't bother me as much. They bothered me. Geology. There are lava samples out there that if the piece of lava coming from the volcano, either cinder cone or otherwise, flies out and has gases trapped in it, and the gases are released in different holes, it makes it a irregular Swiss cheese of rock, shall we say. And for a scientist looking at things like, ooh, cool, look at this thing. But for a person who's suffering through trypophobia, that's like, ah, cute demon. And that's how I'm feeling right now as it is. I have an image of pyroclastic lava in my head. I've been studying geology for a while. I hadn't been mastered in the damn thing, but just, you know, you're living in California dealing with earthquakes, so you have to study about your nature around here. And the nature is the movement of rocks in the earth. And the formation of rocks and types of rocks and everything else about our rocky planet. In the rocks, there are different patterns that would create also tryptophobia feelings. Certain flecks of minerals being molded or combined with other minerals in a lot of heat and a lot of pressure, when expelled or oozed somewhere, would show this formation of rocks with patterns that would freak a person out. What would fascinate me disgusts me. But it's still fascinating, and it still grosses me out because I have been triggered this morning because of it. Not because of the image of the rocks, but because somebody had to actually post something online that set me off. A little infant pager, baby. You know, you're supposed to have two nostrils right there, right? Well, a close up on the nostrils, and they've been posting YouTubes on this one. Little tiny holes that look like they're computer generated. Maybe somewhat irregular placed, but right in there. And I'm like, oh my God, not again. That was the thing that got me triggered. It's bad enough I had that image of that damn face. It was just a computer generated face with a lot of holes in the damn thing. Irregular shaped, but still with the lattices going around this damn thing, forming the holes. An eye with multiple eye holes in it. And nose with a lot of nose holes in it. It makes me grossed out. It makes me sick to my stomach. It's freaking me out and it's panicking me. When I start trying to feel multiple surfaces that actually have manufactured regular holes on them, and I have to keep telling myself there is no threat. There is a fan underneath this particular laptop keeping you cool. And I am rubbing my finger on it, telling myself there is no threat. There is no threat from it. It's a regular vent with holes in it that allows cool air to cool off the laptop. And I have my finger on it, rubbing it right now. I'm trying to reprogram my brain not to freak out as much. Outside, as I was trying to indicate, that there are benches with hard rubber on them. And they have manufactured holes all over the damn place for drainage. I'd have to rub my hand on them once in a while. And on benches that we have the same way. To remind myself that there is no threat from them. They're not coming out to kill me. They're not coming out to threaten me. They are there. There's no problem. There's nothing about them that would terrify me. I had to keep reminding myself that there are manufactured items in this place that would have repetitive patterns. And I would feel some of them. And say, there is no threat, there is no threat, there is no threat, there is no threat, there is no threat. I have to keep telling myself over and over and over again because I'm trying to convince myself there is no threat. The only threat's coming from my own damn imagination being caused by these damn triggers. And I have to combat them by doing what I'm doing right now as it is. I can yell and scream at the senders or anybody else who's posting the damn shit that this poses a hazard. And it does. Long time ago, as I said before, I had chickenpox, and I didn't like to be labeled as a attack of the killer zits. I had labeled myself because I didn't like myself that much of a skin condition. Well, eventually it's going to be turning into shingles, but I hope not. And every once in a while, I will look at my skin with certain scabs that pop up, white scabs. Scratch them off, bit of bleed over, or just scratch them off entirely, and then I don't have to worry about anything else. But I tell you, with those tryptophobia pictures out there, one of them I came across was multiple holes burned into skin in different places. People would have images of their own face and have these black holes on them in various forms. Whether they're real or not, I don't care. They freaked me out. There was one time there was a foot with black holes burned into the damn thing, but some fact checkers out there dispelled that picture. Someone said, well, this was the act of God here. No, it was the act of somebody else manufacturing this nightmare for people. You don't put your foot on hot coals and expect to get multiple pinholes in a damn thing that look like irregular sized craters of blackness on it. That freaked me out. It's bad enough when I saw pictures concerning about holes underneath the armpits. Again, that freaked me out. I have to get myself desensitized. I have to get myself calmed down enough where I'm saying to myself, these damn things are images. They have no power over me. Unless I've already given the power over to the picture, that's going to be ruling over my brain. And I'm not about to do that. I had a few hours of sleep already. Couldn't sleep much. Damn bugs. I'm still dealing with them. It's not great having cockroaches nest with you at night. And it's been pissing me off ever since, for the past several months. I could try feeling around my tongue if there's any black holes in those damn things. Yeah, they've got them on there too. I mean, I don't get it with these idiots out there. These 20 and 30-year-olds and even the teenagers think it's so damn funny seeing their picture look like a damn bullet hole ridden picture there. Not ragged, but clean black holes on the damn thing. They think it's that cool. Oh, look at me. I'm so damn cool. I'm so hip. I got holes all over me. I'm like, you're the most grossest motherfucker I've actually had the displeasure of knowing or even seeing. And I'm not taking that one back. I'm not taking that damn thing back. Fuck that shit. My language is gross right now, and I don't give a shit. Because I am grossing myself out because of their own stupidity. But the thing is, my own body, my own mind is reacting to this. And the reasons why I have to keep researching the information is knowledge is power. And even when I have this much knowledge, I still have to find a way to apply it. I can fill my head up with the stuff without finding a way to get myself settled down. I'm going to have myself conniption fits over this damn thing. I'm going to be looking at patterns left and right and freaking out like crazy. And it's not just bumps. Bumps don't bother me as much. It's the pits. It's the black pits that are driving me crazy. I know. And the other things, well, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it, dude. You don't need to talk about it. You just need to chill. It's not fucking chilling I'm worried about. It's my reactions that'll be putting me into a situation where I can't function. Allowing that much fear, allowing that much control of a fear on me. It's even upsetting my stomach, even as I talk about this. But I have to talk about it. I can't ignore it. Some people think I'm giving too much power to it. I'm acknowledging it. I'm bringing it out to the open, to the light. I'm saying enough is enough. I have to start feeling on colanders and strainers about the regularity of holes that they have on there, and I have to keep telling myself that there is no threat to me. There is no threat. Or even water bubbles. Filling up a pot with water ready to be boiling. I was getting it out of the tap and I stuck my fingers in the water as it was heating up. Of course, I had to take the fingers out because it was getting too damn hot for my fingers. But I wanted to make a point to myself. There's no threat. There's no threat. Some things there may be a threat, and I'll avoid them like the plague. But for right now, there's no threat. I'm all right. I'm alive. And I'm breathing. Last time I checked. But I can't keep freaking myself out like this because it's going to nail my ass one way or another. Yeah, it's got me scared. There are even in these things metal strainers in these Gatorade bottles. Regular patterns. Looking at them is like, but feeling them and understanding what they are is one thing. So I have to relax. I have to relax. I have to deal. I have to cope. And I have to talk about this. I had to understand. Even if I happen to handle a rock. Now, in itself, it was just lying there, no kinetic energy, no thing to force it, then I got no issues with it. If it's going to be tossed at me, or if it's going to be causing me one foot to be having injuries, that's a different story altogether. Then I got a problem with the damn thing. But what about a piece of lava? Now, if it's fluid and bumpy, I got no issues with the damn thing. But what happens if the piece of rock is holy like Swiss cheese? Is it still a threat to me? It's a fascinating thing because it had gases coming out of a volcano a long time ago. And it's a living fossil. However, does it have any threat to me? It looks like it's got multiple holes in it. And with the tryptophobia going on, and the body's still reacting, so is the brain telling me that this is a threat to me. My question to myself is, why? Body doesn't know. Body's only reacting. So I would have to handle the rock, feel the rock, and then realize there's no threat. Unless, of course, there's going to be something in the damn rock that's going to be biting me. Then I'm in trouble. Then it's a threat. Then I can understand the body freaking out during that time. But all in all, I shouldn't have to feel this way. Even a shirt is woven in different intricate patterns into its own structure. There shouldn't be any problems with it. Now, unless I'm going to be forcing myself to make myself a tryptophobia picture to drive myself insane. I don't know how to do that, but I probably will. And no, scratch that. I won't. I'm not going to do that to myself. I have to keep telling myself there is no threat. These pictures have no threat, no hold on me. And I have to keep telling myself that. Now, a long time ago when I actually had the chicken pox as a kid, There was a threat. There was a life-threatening threat there. My heart was threatened. My life was threatened. And I had to stay home from school for about a week or two until I got past the incubation period, and I was actually able to barely join the graduating party of my high school. Then after that, forget it. But my life was threatened a bit. Even if I happened to pick off a pock or two, there was always a threat of the poison going into the bloodstream, hitting my heart, and I'm fucked. At least during that times, anyway. But it's still scary as hell. And if I'm going to see images left and right with holes everywhere, I have to keep telling myself, there is no threat. There is no threat. Because once more, as I said before, my body and my mind are reacting to it. Now, some other people may not. Here's this. We have repetitive images all over the damn place. A building that has many levels and has many windows on it in a repetitive fashion. Are they a threat? In itself, no. If there was a hurricane or earthquake to rattle and shake the windows loose, that's one thing. How about a panel full of television images? Does that constitute a threat to me? How about a computer screen with multiple files spewed all over the place? Does that constitute a threat to me? I mean, is that a threat? Do I need to feel threatened by this? Should I? This is what scares me. But this is why I have to keep confronting it and telling myself, I don't need this, I don't want this, it's not happening. There is no threat. There's no threat. There is no threat. Except for bugs raining down and trying to get to my tea. And then drown in my damn tea. Then there's a threat because I just wasted a perfectly good tea bag. Then I gotta go for coffee. But I didn't want coffee, I wanted tea. I wanted to calm myself down a bit. So this is my log regarding holes. I'm hanging in there. That's all I can do. I'm doing okay for right now. And I gotta continue to breathe and relax that way. Which means I'm still gonna be needing to get things taken care of today.